What's up guys? Welcome back to a new video. We are playing Warzone today and we are going to be addressing part 2 of Discord War. So far, confirmation is that I think the war has ended because aren't any like major things going around. Like there's no like really insulting going around at other people. There's no talk about the war. Really anything at all is being spoken about. Like I said, anything. So I honestly just think that the war is just over by this point. But before the war, I think, ended, they were just trying to figure out ways to injure the person or like mentally injure them, I guess, that started the clan in the first place. And I guess try to figure out ways to, I don't know, just do all these random things that made absolutely no sense. The thing that I mainly don't get is how they were trying to hurt somebody that doesn't really care about getting, they don't really feel anything about insults or anything, and yeah. But so far, the only thing that I really know is that the war is currently ended. It's just over. And that's honestly really it. That's all I really know about the war right now. There's a chance there's going to be a part 3, but I highly doubt it. I'm probably only going to make a part 3 of something insanely, well, recording worth happens, because this part 2 thing, I really had nothing about it. And I honestly just think that there's really no point of recording these if there's not going to be anything very good. But the other reason why I'm recording this one is because I think the war is over, but I think there's going to be another war that is going to be started due to another one of my friends are talking trash behind one of my friends' other friends back, and I'm going to report that to one of my friends. And, they're not going to be too much of a happy guy. Let's just say that. And when they find out that I was the one that reported it, they're probably going to try to start a war against me or some freaking crap. I don't know. Because that's what usually happens, because these guys are freaking idiots. They think that they can just start a war and be like, I'm big, bad, and scary, fear me. I'm like, honestly, can you guys act like normal people and not act like you're the scariest person in the world when you're honestly just a kid? Like, I swear, half the time I feel like I'm the only logical one in the goddamn chat. And then when somebody else joins, I'm like, finally, somebody that could possibly be logical if I don't know them? Nope. Just another one of the guys that are just gonna be in this quote-unquote war. And even then, when they say they're gonna start a war, they start it, they don't finish it. They just talk it out and then just leave. Nothing special happens, there's nothing in there, it's not even a war. It's just somebody walking up to somebody saying, you know what, I'm gonna start a war. It says, Kumbaya, you're not my friend now. Again, for like the 50th time. And I just don't know by this point what to say about it. Because they act like they're so almighty and they call themselves, like, say, the OGs or the legends. I'm like, the hell? And then they make groups literally labeled war. And I'm like, are you serious? What's the point of this if you're not even gonna properly start a war? By this point, I just think they're crazy. Because they start these things that, first of all, they don't know what the hell they're doing. Second of all, they don't just, like, what the hell? Why start a war against somebody that did basically nothing to you? And also, they act like they just get hurt, injured, and all these things for no apparent reason. Literally, nothing's happening to you. The only thing that's been happening to you is you starting wars, you insulting others. That's it. And they call themselves, like, hurt, like, mentally injured. You can't even call that mentally injured. You aren't even getting injured. Physically nor mentally. And it just makes absolutely no sense why you would just try to... Yeah. I'm honestly starting to think these guys are psychologically not okay. Or just, by that point, not okay at all. Because they start these wars, they look at the person, they say you're ugly or some crap like that, and then the war ends. That's it. That kumbaya. It's over. Just done. And I just find it so weird that there's just people out there like that. They're like, you know what? Let's start a war. Let's start all these things, and yeah, kumbaya. There you go. Just nothing happens. Just find it so weird. I'm gonna fart on this thing. Never mind, I couldn't. Anywho, what I do find hilarious is that the person that's starting the wars has started, I'm pretty sure, 3 already, lost all 3, and is still thinking about starting multiple more wars, and probably will start more. I'm just starting to think that he's a psychopath and all he wants is attention, and that's why he's doing all these things, and just overall that. Oh, that was a nice shot. Anywho, this was a very interesting topic that I would like to address again if there will be another war, part 3, maybe 4. And I might address a couple more things in the future. Maybe some, like, freaking psychopath that decided to eat, that decided that he liked, that he said, like, say, peanut butter was God's favorite food. How about that? But, like, yeah, exactly that too. Like, almost to the word. Because I just find it so weird that there are just people out there that are like, you know what, let's start a Discord war, and then let's not finish it. Let's just say, you know what, I don't want to do this, I don't know why I started it, and then just ended it after acting all tough and stuff. It just doesn't occur to me why there are just people like that, and they just act so freaking weird about it as well. Because there's still people in this war that don't want to be in it. And say there was this one time that you can't really start a war, and you can't really consider it a war until the other person really agrees that it's really a war. Then it's just you attacking somebody that's basically defenseless. Which, in the very first war that I was forced to be in, which actually I'm probably going to address that in this video. You know what, why not? So, we'll address one as Toby, because that was their online gamer tag. That's what it still is. And then you got Bendy, what he prefers to be called. Now, what I don't get is that, let's say Toby said, I'm gonna start a war against you, Bendy, and you're not leaving this war until I'm done with you. And in Bendy's head, he's like, okay, they're gonna start a war. They can't really start a war without me agreeing with it, or then it'll just be considered attacking me for no apparent reason. So then in Toby's unlogical mind, no offense, says that, well, say in his mind, thinks that war is, even if they aren't agreeing to the attack, it's still considered a war. Now, during this war lasted for about a week, maybe a week or 2. There was no talk about it, except for one other time. And that's because I mentioned, what's the point of this war if there's gonna be no war? And they say, oh yeah, there's gonna be a war. This is gonna last like a few months. A week later, no, it's over. They're back to being friends again. Then they disagree, and that's how the war that, I don't know if it's ended or not, that's what the one that I was addressing today ended. At least I think. Now, this is so weird, because he always starts these things that he thinks he can win, which he does automatically, because the people that he's starting the war against don't want a war. They want to just chill, maybe talk to a few friends, and also, he says that he's a subject, that he gets kicked for no reason, says insulted, and he says he's gonna commit suicide. He says that he jumps off buildings. No, he doesn't. He just, like, he said that he committed suicide. Nope. 2 days later, nope, he's back, talking on Discord. And I don't get why there's people that just try to get attention and say, let's address to Ark again. Now, he tried tricking one of my friends that he was a girl. Now, this worked for a while until I exposed him, but my friends still didn't believe me until, well, they got heartbroken because they found out that so their names, like the fake names were Aqua and Scourge. First of all, those are the most ridiculous fake names that I have really ever heard somebody try to fake. And third of all, I haven't been keeping track because my head is just dying right now. These guys are trying to, well, this one dude is trying to trick somebody that has enough proof to prove that this Scourge and Aqua people don't exist. But since, let's refer to one as, well, let's refer to them as their gamer tag, Sergio, and then, well, you got Bendy, referring back to him. So, Bendy was dating Aqua, and Sergio was dating Scourge. Now, as this was happening, one of the many times I exposed them, they did not listen. They just looked at me and said, "You know what? Nah, you're lying. This is all fake." And like, what you're saying is all fake and just doesn't make any sense because they're clearly real. And I'm like, okay, you are just blinded by your own, you're just blinded in your own fake reality by this point. And they're like, what do you mean? It's just all this. I've been bullied my entire life. And I'm like, are you serious? What do you mean that you've been getting bullied all your life? Like, literally, the only thing that I've heard somebody say that's really offensive to you is that they, like, let's see, the only offensive thing that has really ever been said to him is that he was, say, ugly. That's really all I've heard so far go towards him until, like, say, during this war. That's all I'm addressed for today. There's probably going to be a part 3, but I'm not too sure. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.